Well, I was born in Balham. Well, I was born in Balham, that's in London, in 1942. That's during the war, and I stayed in London most of the time, only for a short period, which I went to a convent when my mother was having a younger sister. Then I grew up in London, and when I come the age of 18, I bought myself my first bike. And ever since I've been rather keen on motorcycling.
Yeah, I can in the wrong position, excuse me. Can you tell us what what it is about bikes that you like so much?
Well, myself, I like bikes for one thing. I can go where I want to, I can please myself. I don't have to ask anyone else. Don't have to wait for trains, buses or anything else. I go out what time I want and come home what time I want. Definitely I'd miss it if I never had it.
Well, the majority of my time is spent with my bike, riding my bike and maintaining it. But I don't often keep a bike for very long. It's very seldom I'll have a bike more than 6 months. I prefer to chop and change, rebuild. As a hobby, I don't keep them just as a form of transport. They are a hobby with me. I like to have a bike, and when I've got the maximum performance out of that bike, I'd rather sell it than keep it and install on something else.
You married very young, right?
Yes, I did marry young, yeah. I was married at 17.
Do you think that was a mistake?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely a mistake. But I suppose now I'm resigned to the fact that it just doesn't worry me.
Why are you resigned to it? What, you wouldn't like to get divorced, don't you?
Well, this is the second one that I'm on now, and I think the second choice was better. So really, I mean, as far as my home life goes, when my father died, I had none. My mother was taken seriously ill, and I was out on my own then, and that was the age of 14. So after that, really, I've been on my own. So I couldn't live by myself now. I'd be a hopeless mess, you know. Everything would be everywhere. Not that it isn't already, but
Your wife go with you? Your wife?
very seldom. She doesn't travel with me at all. She wouldn't. She doesn't like motorbikes and never has done. And to take her on a motorbike would just be sheer murder, you know. There'd be just nag from morning till night. Really, I've got one thing in my life, and that is motorbikes. From morning till night. Really, that is all that counts. If I attempted even to pack it up for a little while, you know, I get thoroughly bored and irritable with everything and everybody, and I'm just no good at all. So it's best that I keep it on. It's like a habit, really, you know. Like some people smoke, drink, and what have you, but I've got my motorbikes, like.
You know, when it's serving you, you know, all rockers and all that lot. And you get your blokes going there with suits, no matter if they look like mods or not, you know, you still serve them.
Yeah, they walk in there with suit, fucking double barrel shotgun under there. Yeah, we're all going up to Trafalgar Square in quarter now, so we're leaving.
Okay.
Not yet, quarter now.
Change,
Just there, isn't it?
yeah. No, it's not coming in properly. So, for a bit of a...
Okay, though, you were saying that Maggie didn't seem interested.
Yes, you don't seem interested in any particular boy of our crowd.
Well, most of them have got girls, haven't they? But they don't bring them up the bridge. You know what I mean? And I haven't really found any that I really like that much to go out with. I like them as friends more than anything else, you know. Hang about with, but like I say, when summer comes, we might get a nice bloke up there, you know. But until then, you know, just hang around with the usual crowd, because I haven't met anybody that I... Because I don't just go out with any boy, I've got to like a boy before I go out with him. I'm not like some girls that just go out with a boy because he's got a bike, or he's good looking or anything. I've got to like a boy a lot. I don't just go with anybody, you know what I mean?
You got any ideals as far as boys are concerned?
Well, I don't like a boy that's sort of like two-time and you know, muck you about a lot. If I go out with a boy, I go out with a boy, you know what I mean? I don't like, sort of like say, I see him one night, next minute he runs around and meets another girl. Because I've been mucked about too much before, you know, and I don't like it. My mum's told me a lot of things about men you've got to look out for, sort of thing.
What kind of things you look at?
Well, you see these little boys, they say they think a lot of you and all that, but it's a lot of words, you know, it doesn't mean anything. All words. I'm not easily led by a boy.
How old are you?
I'm nearly 16.
What would you do if you didn't go to Chelsea Bridge?
Pardon?
What would you do if you didn't go to Chelsea Bridge? Or ride about Pillion?
I don't know, I suppose I'll stay in of an evening.
Do you get any enjoyment for riding Pillion?
Yeah.
What kind of enjoyment? Can you describe it?
Well, you're sort of feeling that you're moving fast, you know. Knowing you're getting somewhere, instead of just hanging about. I just like being on the road, you know, I like moving, I like travelling.
Do you think you learn anything from travelling on the Pillion?
Yeah, you get to learn quite a few things about the bike, you know.
What kind of work do you do?
Duplicating.
What would you like to do?
More interested in art, you know. I'd rather do something with art, you know, painting and anything artistic, you know. Because I mean, that was about my best subject at school.
Are you really interested in it?
I am, yeah.
Or do you think it might just be an easier way of living?
No, I'm interested in it. But as I say, I couldn't really do it because I mean, there's no jobs for art, you know. Not that I know of, anyhow. I just done it at school, you know.
You know, it's possible to get a scholarship in an art school.
No, but I'm not really. You have to go for so many GCEs, and I haven't got them right. So that was the only strong subject at school. I mean, everything else I weren't really good at. Sort of just average, you know.
Do you draw?
Pardon?
Do you still draw?
When I've got nothing to do, yeah.
What kind of things do you draw?
I like drawing places, people. I don't like doing things like, you know, still things. I like doing things that are living, you know. Scenery and that.
Do you draw motorbikes?
Oh, yeah. I don't really think that rockers, you know, they cause all the trouble they're supposed to, and I don't think mods do, but I don't really understand how these
fights between them come about? I think it's mostly because the rockers pick the trouble, because they look so hard, and the mods sort of think to themselves, oh, let's go up, you know, and sort these fellas out, and the rockers say, don't you dare, so we give you a punch up, and that's what they do. So I really think the rockers start the trouble between the teenagers.
How long have you been with these Chelsea Bridge boys? How long have you been going there?
About 2 years, on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was he on last time?
We're talking about the police, weren't we?
Oh, about keeping my nose out of trouble.
Yeah,
about my parents.
You said, we were talking about police, boys coming back to towers about police speaking up, so on.
Oh yeah. Well, you hear a lot of towers fellas coming around and say, oh yeah, I was taken in for the night, they give me a pasting. But whether that's true or not, or they just trying to make themselves look big, that's another thing, but I don't believe them. But I should think if you did mess the law around, they would give you a hiding. And most times out of 10, if you behave yourself, they leave you alone. As I say, I've never been inside, so I wouldn't know really, but that's what I surmise.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an electrician's mate for London Electricity Board.
What does that mean?
Well, I go out with an electrician and we do work in houses, factories, shops, anywhere, wire out lights, machines, heaters, anything.
How old are you now?
22.
Did you vote in the last election?
Yeah. Yeah, I did vote, yeah.
Can you tell us what you think about the government?
Well, that's the thing, I don't possess know much about governments and politics and religion. I don't say much about those because I don't know enough about them to sort of comment. But I just can't say.
But you did vote?
I did vote, yeah.
So you must have had some reasons for voting.
Well, I voted for the people I thought would be best for us, for the working class people. Because I'm no multi-millionaire. So I voted for the working class, yeah, definitely.
Who are the working class? What kind of people?
Well, the ordinary everyday person who goes to work. Definitely. Ordinary regular wage. None of this super tax sort of people, you know. Drive around in Rolls Royces with chauffeurs. Well, they are the ups, but the working class, well, they're the people who keep the country going, I think.
Do you believe in God?
Huh?
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? Well, that's a funny thing. Well, I believe there must be somebody there, whether it's God or what, I don't know. But well, life wouldn't exist otherwise. It's nature. It's sort of a funny thing, that. I go to church now and again, yeah.
I think it's a silly thing, the sort of death penalty, you know, being abolished and that. You know, because I believe, you know, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, you know. Not just stick a bloke away for about 12 years or something like that. He comes out again, you know. And I mean, say, a lot of these people who do, you know, murder people and that, they don't care, you know, what happens to them sort of thing. They just sort of go out and kill someone, you know. Just have his robbery or anything like that. They can't really care for themselves, you know. Otherwise they wouldn't do it. And you stick a bloke inside for 12 years, he comes out again. So if a person kills someone at the age of 20, he's going to come out when he's 32 and he's still young enough to do a lot of harm, you know. And when they stick him back inside again, you say.
What do you think about war?
War? He's stupid. You know. Would like it. That's what should be abolished, I reckon. Something like that. I mean, say it can't, I know. Which everybody doesn't settle the differences, you know, just by sort of arguing about them. They go to war and that, you know. But you get these factions where people they start wars just to, you know, sell armaments and that, you know, which they do, you know. And I just don't, you know. I don't like that sort of thing.
Really drop your flags, right? Let me hold them for you, mate. Just hold black.
That's the way it's about getting the run the first ball and bloody other ones around. It's not like this bloody machine every night of the week. It's not me back now. I'm just trying to give it a bloody replay.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, mate, I'm not smoking, man.
Me?
Guess where I come from now?
I've got a good accent, me. Out to Heavenly days up in Scotland. Just a wee laddie.
What are you at there, Jock?
Come on back, the mate.
Yeah, it's about time they bloody sent you back again.
What do you mean, send me back again? Who told you about that?
You did.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I got sent home last year.
You'll find that out in these cafes, like the Ace, Busy Bee, Johnson's, all these cafes where they congregate, you'll find that the majority don't build their own bikes. They go buy one, probably owe £200-300 on a bike, and then they'll take it out on the road and they won't even bother to run it in. They'll just tear from place to place as fast as the thing will carry them, and within 3 months, if they're lucky, there'll be absolutely nothing left of that bike.
You ride a bike very fast, if you can, through town.
Not through town, no. I wouldn't belt an excessive speed through town. As I said, for the mere fact that there's so many obstacles in your way that it's treacherous to yourself if you don't even think about other people. If you want to live yourself, you just don't do them sort of things. You get around town quickly, but you've got to go quick in the right places. If you know the road, if you know what to expect, even then you can't be sure. There's always the unexpected. You can probably push up to 50 mile an hour with safety. But then you've got added risk of road conditions, which is bad, the police, which are also bad, and your own neck. You know, I value my neck more than what I do somebody else's, let's put it that way. But I wouldn't go belting through town because of my neck, and because sometimes you do think about other people. It might not cross your mind at the time when you're opening up that throttle that somebody's kid's going to come running out in front of you and know nothing about it. But if you sit down and think about it for 5 minutes and have a few near misses, then it suddenly begins to dawn on you, you know, that you're only on two wheels as well. If you hit somebody, it's absolutely it's a 100 to 1 odds against you staying on the bike. You're bound to come off. But if you were to move about like you've done yourself with us, you come into these cafes and you meet them. You meet the ton-up boy. You meet the rogue, like, you know. He won't bother about what you think of his driving. That's all he's bothered about, is getting past you, anywhere, at any place, at any time. If you're going along at a steady 30, 40 mile an hour on an open road, in a queue of traffic, you can bet he's the boy who's going to go flashing past with the throttle wide open. And you can bet he's the boy in 6 months who's going to be in a coffin.
Oh, Dale, mate.
Oh, can you tell us a little about yourself, about your home and so on?
About my home?
Yeah.
Not much to say, really, is there?
I don't know. It's your home.
Well, what am I supposed to say?
Tell us about your parents, what your father does, what your mother does, if you have any brothers or sisters.
Oh, my dad's a photographer. Got one sister. My mum's a barmaid. That's it. I've got a dog.
What do you think about society?
Don't know, it don't bother me.
Do you think it's necessary for a girl to be a virgin if you have to marry her?
Yeah, I would. I think so.
Why?
Well, you know where she's been, otherwise, yeah.
You think it makes a difference?
Yeah, I think so.
You think a man should be a virgin?
Oh, no, it's different, isn't it?
Why is it different?
Well, it just is, isn't it? I can't say how, but it is, isn't it? Don't you think?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, you wouldn't, would you?
Could you explain why it's necessary for a girl to be a virgin but not a boy?
No, not really. It's just the way, you know, I like it that way. I'd rather a girl to be a virgin before I marry her. Yeah, well, before I went out there, like.
How about settling down? Thinking of that?
Yes, yes, I will do. Pretty soon, I suppose, yes.
Do you have
I'll
enough money for a family, for keeping a family?
Not at the moment, but I will do in a few years. I will have enough to keep a family and take off my leather jacket and hang it up on the wall.
Do you think you'll miss the Chelsea Bridge?
I couldn't really tell you. It's one finds another interest, doesn't one? I mean, it does get a bit boring after a while, night after night, night after night, so some nights we don't go up there. We could try to find something else to do, but we always seem to end up there in the same place because it's interest, everyone gathers there, you see. It's not the place, it's the company.
What do you do when you don't go there? What do you do then?
Oh, got the pictures, sit and watch television, go visiting cafes and anything that you can do in the money you have. You may go out for a meal now and again to an Indian restaurant or something like that.
Do you ever feel bored with life?
Very rarely, because always try and find something to do. If I'm bored, I go to sleep, and when I wake up, there's always something else to do. I like to go out in the country because I was born out in the country. I lived most of my life out in the country. I get a closed-in feeling. It's just one big thing you can't seem to get away from all the time. I mean, how often do you see a bit of green in London? No people. I like to be alone, I like to fish, I like shooting, but if you go fishing or shooting, it costs you 15 bob for a day. I mean, it's taken all the pleasure out of it. And you can't get in anywhere. You've got to search for a spot to fish because they're all packed about 2 feet apart all the way down the river. This spoils enjoyment of it.
What does it feel like when you go fast on an open road? Is that the kind of freedom you feel?
I do feel a freedom, yes, but I got a funny feeling inside my stomach. Something like I'm risking death. And it's a funny feeling. Everybody else calls you mad. You're mad, going down there at that speed, down the open road at that speed. But to me, it's exhilarating. I find it pleasurable. It's a sensation which you can't get anywhere else. It's, well, I wouldn't say kicks, but it does help you to feel free, you're not attached to anything. And it's just hard to explain.
Would you say you feel more alive when you're closer to death?
Very much so. I find that I'm wide awake, alert, a thing which I don't often feel.
Questions?